Gospel according to Luke, chapter 20. And it came to pass that on one of those days, as he taught the people in the temple and preached the gospel, the chief priests and the scribes came upon him with the elders. And spake unto him, saying, Tell us, by what authority dost thou these things? Or what is he that gave thee this authority? And he answered and said unto them, I will also ask you one thing, and answer me. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or of men? And they reasoned with themselves, saying, If we shall say from heaven, he will say, Why then believed ye him not? And if we say of men, all the people will stone us, for they be persuaded that John was a prophet. And they answered that they could not tell whence it was. So they didn't give an answer. They just said, I don't know. And Jesus said unto them, Neither tell I you by what authority I do these things. You'll never know. Then began he to speak to the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard, and led it forth to husbandmen, and went into a far country for a long time. Oh, this one's really sad. About his son, they kill him. And at the season he sent a servant to the husbandmen that they should give him the fruit of the vineyard. But the husbandmen beat him and sent him away empty. And again he sent another servant, and they beat him also and entreated him shamefully and sent him away empty. And again he sent a third. You know what? It's kind of like God coming to his people, right? And collecting the fruit, right? This guy sent his servant. Okay, not God. It's like a prophet. So it's like God sent the prophet, right? God sent the prophets before to collect the fruit, and they killed them, right? And again, another servant, right? And they entreated him shamefully and sent him away empty. I don't think that's really like John the Baptist. It's more like some other prophet. But this one's Jesus. This one, they're going to say here. And he sent a third, and they wounded him also and cast him out. He's talking about himself, I think. Oh, wait. No. This is another prophet, right? Then said the Lord of the vineyard, What shall I do? I will send my beloved son. This is Jesus. It may be they will reverence him when they see him. But when the husbandmen saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours. I didn't realize this before, that this is about Jesus and the prophets. So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. That's what they did to Jesus, right? What therefore shall the Lord of the vineyard do unto them? So now he's asking these people that are laying in wait, who want to kill him. He's saying basically their history. Well, he sent 3 prophets. He's saying this happened three times. The Father sent out 3 servants, right, who are like the prophets, right? And then the last time he sent out his own son, who's Jesus, right? He shall come and destroy these husbandmen, and shall give the vineyard to others. Okay, so they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. What therefore shall the Lord of the vineyard do unto them? He shall come and destroy these husbandmen, and shall give the vineyard to others. See, he's taking the vineyard away from the Jews, from these scribes, these Pharisaical and the elders. It doesn't say the Pharisees are there. I'm not quite sure. I have to get a better understanding of their jobs. But the chief priests and the scribes and the elders he's talking to these people. And these are the people that should have been holding up God's law, right? And so they're not feeling too good about this story, because some of them might have a little bit of insight once they hear this parable. But he's saying that what is the father going to do when he finds this out, that he's killed the son? He's going to come and destroy all those people, and he's going to give that vineyard to other people. So he's going to come and destroy all these people, the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders, and he's going to give it to Gentiles, basically. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he beheld them and said, What is that? What is this then that is written? The stone which the builders rejected, the same has become the head of the corner. Whosoever shall fall upon that stone shall be broken, but on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. And the chief priests and the scribes the same hour sought to lay hands on him. They wanted to kill him. They did understand what he said. Because he's basically saying you're all going to be destroyed from your behavior. And all your goods are going to be given to strangers. Like your vineyard, this vineyard of God is going to be given to everybody else but you, because you rejected it. And the chief priests and the scribes the same hour sought to lay hands on him, and they feared the people, for they perceived that he had spoken this parable against them. Oh, they didn't understand it, but they knew that part. They knew it was bad. And they watched him and sent forth spies, which should feign themselves just men, that they might take hold of his words, that so they might deliver him into the power and authority of the governor. Spies sent by the Levites and the scribes and the priests and the elders. Wow, they're just trying to kill him. They're not trying to understand anything. They're not like, oh, let's think about that one for a minute. Oh, so you're saying, you know what I mean? I don't know. And they asked him, saying, Master, we know that thou sayest and teachest rightly, neither acceptest thou the person of any, but teachest the way of God truly. Is it lawful for us to give tribute unto Caesar or no? But he perceived their craftiness. That's not a good word, is it? And said unto them, Why tempt ye me? Show me a penny, whose image and superscription hath it. They answered and said, Caesar's. And he said unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which be Caesar's, and unto God the things which be God's. And they could not take hold of his words before the people, and they marveled at his answer, and held their peace. Then came to him certain of the Sadducees, which, why do they call it Sadducees when it's spelled Sadducees? Sadducees. Then came to him certain of the Sadducees, which deny that there is any resurrection. And they asked him, saying, Master, Moses wrote unto us, if any man's brother die having a wife, and he die without children, that his brother should take his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. There were therefore 7 brethren, and the first took a wife and died without children, and the second took her to wife, and he died childless, and the third took her, and in like manner the 7 also. And they left no children and died. Last of all the women died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife of them is she? For 7 had her to wife. And Jesus answering said unto them, the children of this world marry and are given in marriage, but they which shall be accounted worthy to obtain that world and the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage. Neither can they die any more, for they are equal unto the angels, and are the children of God, being the children of the resurrection. Now that the dead are raised, even Moses shewed at the bush, when he calleth the Lord the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. For he is not a God of the dead, but of the living. For all live unto him. Yeah, that's a good answer. I mean, I don't know. And certain of the scribes answering said, Master, thou hast well said. And after that they durst not ask him any questions at all. And he said unto them, how say they that Christ is David's son? And David himself said in the book of Psalms, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand, till I make thine enemies thy footstool. Oh, here we go. Let's go back. That's Psalm 110, right? I had an issue with that. That's an unanswered question I have. Yeah, it's David Mezmir, Psalm 110, a Psalm of David. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule. Okay. So, the Jews fight about this one. The Hebrews, they have a different interpretation of this Psalm 110, verse 1. But here, in the New Testament, it is brought up. And let's see what it says. This is the very end of chapter 20. And David himself said in the book of Psalms, the Lord said unto my Lord. So the Lord, capital, everything's capitalized. The Lord said unto my Lord, capital L, little O-R-D. Sit thou on my right hand, till I make thine enemies thy footstool. David therefore calleth him Lord. How is he then his son? Ugh. Still confusing, right? Oh, it's confusing. I don't get it. It's alright. Then, In the audience of all the people, he said unto his disciples, beware of the scribes, which desire to walk in long robes and love greetings in the markets and the highest seats in the synagogues and the chief rooms at feasts, which devour widows' houses, and for a shew make long prayers. The same shall receive greater damnation. That's it. But let's go over this one more time. How say they that Christ is David's son? And David himself saith in the book of Psalms, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand, so I make thine enemies thy footstool. David, this is the part I have to concentrate on. David, therefore, calleth him Lord. How is he then his son? Oh, I gotta figure this out. How say that they say that Christ is David's son? Christ is David's son. Which is what all the people following him are saying, right? Maybe. He's saying, Jesus says, how say they that Christ is David's son? David therefore calleth him Lord. How is he then his son? That's hard to understand. David therefore calleth him Lord. Oh, okay. Okay. This is going to take more thought, but all I can figure out right now is that that's that Psalm 110, right? And this is, I think, maybe one of the biggest, I don't know, but I didn't just read it and it was like, it struck me like so much. No, I saw a video about this, this Psalm 110, right? And about why it's so nitpicked or something. And it's a point of contention that Jews will say they're absolutely not talking about Jesus. This has nothing to do with Jesus, right? But here we are in Luke, right? And Matthew and Mark have not mentioned this. I am pretty sure. Maybe not. Maybe one of them did. But this has to be straightened out because well, I'm going to think about it. I'm not going to make a video of thinking about it.